Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Joe Martin on the line, and he's CEO and co-founder over at Stumble. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it, Adam.
All right, Joe. So we got a lot to talk about today. So, of course, I want to get into the work that you're doing over at Stumble, and we're going to get into the AI and loneliness epidemic. A highly important topic right now, as we all are getting to be further and further in the AI world, I call it. But before we get into all that, I see the term here, co-founder. You're an entrepreneur. Have you always been one? Where'd that start for you?
Yeah, I have always been an entrepreneur.
What was the first business? Give me the young one. I want the young one.
Well, let's see. So I took AP Calc, and my Calc lab was right after lunch. And so I would buy Little Caesars pizzas, and I would sell them for like $3 a slice. And I gave the teacher a cut to let me do that. And yeah, I sold pizza. That was my first entrepreneur gig.
Oh man, that's great. I love it. And oh man, this is classic. Oh, that's a good one. I would have been there. Yeah. I would have been there like, hey, does everybody, I guess I would have had to bring the pop, or I'd be like, hey, who needs the pop? Like, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
We'd have had to partner on this, Joe. I would have been in. All right. So bringing it a little bit more present day, Stumble. Let's get into your current business. Like, tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so I've been building for 20 years. I've always been in tech. I went to Stanford for business school. I worked at Adobe for almost 10 years. And ever since I left kind of the big company, I've been building my own companies. And I had my co-founder came to me in August and last year and was just like, hey, I've got this great idea for this company. I think you're the one to help me bring it to market. And so her name's Sarah MacArthur Pierce. Her and I fleshed it out, and I have the resources and connections in to build the product, and we brought it to market just a few weeks ago. And it's really tackling the number one usage of ChatGPT is therapy and relationship advice, and it's finding a way to bring in peers into that space. So it's just not this echo chamber of you're amazing, you're awesome, that tool was built on positive reinforcement when sometimes it needs to say, hey man, you made a mistake here. You need to fix that.
Can you go back to something you said a moment ago? Because I wasn't aware of that, and I maybe go a little bit further. Like that's one of the number one uses is for therapy or things like that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So like if you look at traditional therapy, it's, I meet with my therapist Monday at noon every week. It's like, well, maybe I don't want to talk Monday at noon, or maybe I need to talk with somebody Thursday at 2 a.m. But obviously, if I have a therapist that's available 24 hours a day, they're going to be extremely expensive, so not available to,
of course,
most of the planet. And so people have really turned to ChatGPT. It's like it's a place where you can get some advice. It's always available. You don't feel like you're always sharing your problems with friends and family, because we all have our own problems, right? And so like sometimes you're like, I really want to talk to my best friend, but their parent just died, or their dog just died, or they just lost their job. It's like you don't want to throw your stuff on them. And so people have really turned to AI to kind of get some validation and get some advice and move forward with that.
Man, that makes so much sense. I never thought about that. That makes so much sense, huh? So where does Stumble fit in this? Like, go further along the product and how this helps.
Yeah, so, I mean, I went through a divorce a year and a half ago. I was married for 19 years, so you can imagine it's a fairly big adjustment.
Yeah.
And if you think about the stereotype of people coming out of a relationship, it's all built around dating again. Well, you should get on a dating app or you should meet somebody new. And it's like, no, you actually should take some time for yourself and work on healing whatever you need to heal or improving yourself, and really not jump into a new relationship, because social media and these dating apps really just create this never-ending marketplace of people who are never actually pairing up. They're just like dating for a short time and always thinking about who else is available, right? And that's kind of maybe a flaw in our society these days. So really, Sarah and I wanted to create this like space in between where it's not necessarily therapy. It's definitely not a dating app. It's all anonymous. So you're a username and you're a color or an avatar. So it takes off the masks of the top 1% of beautiful people getting all the matches on dating apps, and just creates an environment where people can connect and have community. We have a 90-day program to help you become relationship ready that's full of videos and podcasts and music and other things.
Wow.
We have clinicians on our advisory board, so everything we're doing is trauma informed and trying to make sure that we're providing a space where people can actually heal and grow. And we provide other tools that could be helpful. Like we have a journaling space that gives you daily prompts. There's an SOS button where if you need extra help, it will connect you with a guide immediately. It'll notify your community group that you clicked SOS. And then there's a critical one too that actually links out to 911 or, the suicide hotline if it gets to that level of an extreme. So we're really trying to help people. Like getting out of a relationship is maybe one of the most difficult things people go through. And we want them to have a space where they can have the AI support, but also be able to have humans there that can provide, a human connection.
Wow. What a great idea. I love this. I mean, it's kind of like it sits kind of in the middle of the intersection, if you will.
Yeah, and the space between, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love this. Take me through, and I know this may sound basic, but I want to kind of I like to walk through this in my head, and I want people that are listening to do the same. Can you take me through like the user journey? Like I know you're a builder.
Sure.
Like what does it look like?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, take me through that, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am a data scientist by trade. I started kind of as an analyst at Adobe. So I built this 16 question quiz. So when you download the Stumble app, it's on the App Store at the moment only, not on Android. When you download the app, you take a 16 question quiz, and based on your answers of how you connect with people, what your relationship status is, you'll get placed into a community, and they're called constellations. It's all kind of like a cosmic theme in the app. And your community is essentially where you are currently with your relationship. So if you're at the very beginning, you're in still root. If you're more middle line, you're in flow line. If you're at kind of like the end of your road and ready to move on, you're in ember path. And those are meant to kind of connect you with people that are in the same space, but also the AI is trained to serve up content and answers that are different to where you are in the group. So they'll be a little bit softer in the beginning groups and a little bit more direct in the later groups. So we've really tried to provide a nice experience there. And also our AI is all personified. So there's 6 different guides, and they're preloaded with the color personalities. So red, white, yellow, and blue. And then one is my personality, one is my co-founder's. I'm kind of like an architect. I mentioned I'm a builder, and she's kind of like a cheerleader. So
what a great team for a partnership, by the way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah. She's a branding and cheerleader person, and just really smart with design, and I bring it all together. But so you can give the same prompt to each guide, and Ignis is our red guide, and he's a little bit more blunt, stop crying about it, move forward thing, versus the other ones are a little softer and might give you a plan to help you. So it gives that opportunity. And then from there, there's just daily prompts to do your journal. When you do your journal, it asks you what your mood is like. When you click your mood, it actually dynamically changes your profile image. So if you click a frowny face or whatever, it's an indirect cue to your community of okay, this person's having a hard day, but maybe doesn't want to say anything. And then they can send you a message and see how things are going.
Wow.
And then there's an orbit space, which is scrolling full of distractions, journal prompts, quotes, YouTube videos that are kind of meant to take you on that 90-day relationship ready journey.
Talk a little bit about the program that you mentioned that's in there too, that piece of it, the 90-day.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will be is really close to being released. We're going to probably have it available in the app in the next week or two. And it's meant to kind of add a quantifiable app to this space between, like you and I talked about earlier, in that people can like see progress, they can see growth, they can look back and see that they do feel better about their future from when they started using Stumble. And honestly, a lot of it is just curated stuff. Like we have created our own content also, but some of it's like read this Mel Robbins article or listen to this podcast by Brene Brown. And just read this quote by Marcus Aurelius. A lot of it is just pulling together content that is already out there and then pairing it together with some that we've created on our own with kind of our therapy community. And yeah, just provide that as a way for people to feel confident in what they're doing. And honestly, like we've really niched down in relationships and like breakups, but this is really like a grief and loss platform that we can fairly easily expand into. Like if you're going through an addiction problem or you just lost your job or a parent or a loved one, we see a future where there'll be communities for those types of things as well.
Man, Joe, this is great. It's so next level. I love it, and it's kind of like that. I love the in between side of things because I love when people and entrepreneurs are finding ways to have AI, combined with a human component, like make both better. I just think it's really cool. Yeah, Joe, how do people? Go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, my grand vision is disrupting the therapy industry completely. Like, I have a vision of a therapist who manages 10 therapy bots and reviews all the conversations that are had with the customers and then gives human advice from the transcript. And then, you can charge $100 a month for that type of unlimited access to a therapist service versus traditional therapy is, $500 to $1,000 a month for that type of thing. So it really brings it to the masses versus only people who can truly afford that as a luxury.
Man, I love it. It's such a great idea, Joe, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. How do people get involved? How do they connect? How do they learn more?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can search for Stumble app. It's fairly new, so there's other like games and things named Stumble. So you might have to kind of do a teeny bit of searching until we get more reviews and users. We've got a few thousand at the moment, so it'll grow fast. You could also go to joinstumble.com. That's our website, and it links to the app. And then definitely follow. I'm fairly active on social. So as my co-founder, we're kind of building in public. So you can follow me on Instagram, legend.airy.1. The Alchemist is one of my favorite books. So, your personal legend is where I got that Instagram from.
Awesome.
So yeah, follow us along there and then watch us build this and definitely try it out. I'm very in love with feedback. I'm meeting and talking with customers every day to make it better. So let us know how it goes and we'll adapt it to where the people want it to go.
Perfect. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put a link in the show notes, some links in the show notes, and you can connect with Joe and also download Stumble. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Yes, you heard me correct. Daily, each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Joe, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to see this disrupt the industry, but also just help more people, give more people access to therapy and to the advice they need. So thank you for coming on today to spread this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a fantastic host. And also, we're a survivor brand. So anyone who's ever survived domestic violence or PTSD or anything, we not only hire those people into our company, but this app is free for you. No questions asked. You just email us and we will give it to you for free each year. So that's something we're really passionate about, is helping people.